What's going on, everyone? It's Chads here, coming at you with a new construction guide for Ultimate Iron Man. Construction is one of the most challenging skills for an Ultimate Iron Man, but also one of the most rewarding. As you level up this skill, it will help simplify your storage options while trying to manage your inventory. At the higher levels, you'll be able to store your best in slot gear, have teleports everywhere in the game, and the skill cape is hands down the best utility skill cape, not just for ultimates, but for every account type. Starting off, you're going to need a house before you can start earning construction XP, so you can purchase one from any estate agent in the game for 1,000 coins, or you can make your way to Varrock and complete the Daddy's Home mini quest. The Daddy's Home mini quest shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to complete, and you'll also be rewarded with a house, as mentioned before, and level 9 construction. This mini quest will also reward you with Marlowe's Crate, which gives you a few teleport tablets and some useful construction supplies. After this, you can knock out a few more early levels with bagged plants. These are really only useful early, and they cost 1k each. Each bagged plant gives you 31 construction XP and also 31 farming XP. You can quickly use these to get your construction level to 20. It should take 107 plants, costing about 107k to reach it. The shop prices may vary depending on how much you purchase at one time. The bagged plants method will require a few watering cans, coins, and teleports to your house in Falador if those are available. Once you arrive in Falador, make your way over to the park. On the east side, you can trade with the garden supplier who sells the bagged plant 1 for 1k each. Buy as many as you can and make your way back to the house. These can be built inside the garden, which your house should already have by default. Each time one of these is built, it will consume 1 charge of the watering can, so make sure you've got enough water to last all of your plants. After your inventory is finished, go back to Falador, rinse and repeat until 20 construction. At 20 construction, you can now start completing Novice Mahogany Homes contracts. The two main resources that you will need are obviously planks and the occasional steel bar. If you have access to the blast furnace, then you can use the minigame teleport there and store an inventory of them in the bar dispenser. You typically don't go through steel bars that quickly, so I would recommend taking about 5 at a time. These will usually last until the next minigame teleport is ready. If you don't have access to the blast furnace, you can keep a pickaxe with you and an Ardoin cloak. The monastery teleport has coal and iron next to each other, so that you can easily make some steel bars. As for the planks, this is where the real challenge begins. Since ultimates are limited to their inventory, you can't take advantage of butlers to make your planks. You are also not allowed to use your kingdom to help collect logs. Therefore, the fastest way to get yourself some planks will be from chopping trees and running to the nearest sawmill. At this point, I highly recommend getting a Ring of Elements from Guardians of the Rift. This ring will greatly speed up construction trading because there's a built-in teleport that takes you directly to the Earth Altar. The Earth Altar just happens to be right next to the sawmill and some oak trees. You can chop an inventory of these and buy the planks next door. This will save you a ton of time in the future. Alternatively, if you have completed Twilight's Promise and have 54 magic, you can cast the Civitas Fortis teleport. From here, you can travel with the Quetzal to Auburnvale. This puts you very close to the sawmill operator. And on the west side of town, you'll see 2 conveniently placed oak trees. You can chop these for a full inventory and then return to the sawmill operator to complete your planks. From here on, Mahogany Homes will be your best training method as it's the most efficient way to use your planks. Mahogany Homes contracts will send you all over Gielinor, so make sure you've got some teleports. You'll need teleports to Varrock, Falador, Ardoin, and Piscilius. The Falador teleport is especially handy because it is the closest teleport to Amy, who can assign you new contracts. Once you've reached 25 construction, I'd recommend moving your house location to Piscilius so that you can have quick access to those contracts whenever they are signed. Alternatively, a Xerix Talisman is a bit better of a teleport, but early on, the requirements to get one may be too steep. Otherwise, the Memoir or Book of the Dead will work too. Once you reach level 50, you can now complete Adept contracts. These contracts will now require you to use teak planks. Teak trees can be very easy or challenging to reach depending on your account's progression. One fairly accessible spot for teaks is in Varlamore, east of the Locust Oasis. These are very close to a fairy ring, which can be unlocked pretty early into your account. If you have completed Monkey Madness 1 and also have 90 magic, you can build an Ape Atoll dungeon teleport from the Arceus spellbook inside your house. This will be the fastest way to get to some teak trees. At this time, even if you can't create the Ape Atoll dungeon teleport, I would still recommend adding at least 1 portal chamber into your house. You'll need one teleport focus and a portal frame for each teleport you wish to add. You can add almost any spellbook teleport to these so long as you have the level required, and you can boost for them as well. These portals will require 100 times the normal rune cost in order to be built. It should be noted that if you have to make long trips from the trees to the sawmill, then it's highly recommended to get the log basket from forestry. The log basket is a fairly quick unlock and can hold up to 28 different logs. It's also especially worth getting because whenever you're done using it, you can simply store it inside your house. Once you reach 70 construction, you've now got the requirements to complete Song of the Elves. After you've got that quest completed, then you can now move your teak location. Fortunately, Prif has excellent utility for ultimates. Near the Prif sawmill, there are multiple teak and mahogany trees. These are the closest and most convenient trees to chop to collect your planks. Now that you're 70 construction, you can participate in the expert contracts from Mahogany Homes. These contracts will now require mahogany planks. Here's where you've got some flexibility. Although mahogany planks will be more XP per plank, they're actually slower XP per hour because teak trees can be chopped faster. Mahogany planks are also a little more expensive GP per XP. The efficient way would be to continue doing teak plank contracts. However, if you want a little extra AFK time while chopping, then you can choose to do mahogany logs instead. Now, this is where the XP rates will unfortunately start to stagnate, but don't worry because there are some other things that you can do to improve on those rates. As you make progress in other aspects of the game, you'll start to unlock small things that will have a huge impact. The Lunar Spellbook with NPC contact allows you to get a new contract on the spot, saving you time from running back to getting a new one in person each time. You can combine this with house teleport tablets in your inventory, and inside your house you should have at least teleports to Varrock, Falador, and Ardoin, and maybe even a mounted Xerix talisman. Hopefully at this time you've stacked up a decent amount of points for Mahogany Homes. The first massive unlock you can get is the plank sack. This will allow you to store up to 28 planks inside the sack, meaning you won't need to make as many trips back to the sawmill. If you've already got the plank sack, then you can spend your points on the supply crates. These crates will reward you with noted construction supplies. Hopefully you've got a decent stack of noted steel bars so that you don't need to make any more detours. The noted planks you receive will temporarily eliminate the need for chopping trees, but they will run out very quickly. The outfit is not worth it in the sense that those points could have been spent on more supply crates, which mitigates the time for collecting logs. If you want the outfit, then by all means go for it, but the supplies will be faster XP in the end. You can also purchase Amy's Saw to help free up another inventory spot. Also, the Imkondo Hammer from the ruins of Camdozel can free up a spot as well. Both of these items can be worn and also conveniently storable in the costume room. If you don't feel like doing Mahogany Homes or just need to switch things up, then I've got some alternative methods for you. One of the classic Iron Man tactics is to rush Wintertodt as early as possible on your account. In addition to crazy fire making XP, Wintertodt also has a variety of other skills involved. For instance, whenever the brazier breaks, you must fix it. Each time it's fixed, you'll be awarded with a small amount of construction XP based on your level. The math works out so that if you plan on doing 99 fire making as early as possible and you start at level 30 construction, you'll end up with around 70 construction if you're doing solos. Fortunately for UIMs, a somewhat recent update to Wintertodt changed the loot system to be more similar to Temporos. This means you won't be burdened with a loot crate after each round. The pros for this method: it requires next to nothing for supplies, and it's an efficient way to skip the early levels of construction. You'll also get a ton of supplies by the time you reach 99 fire making. The downsides are, well, fire making all the way from 50 to 99 can easily get boring and burn you out. Furthermore, you'll also be required to do solos, which some may find less desirable. Wintertodt masses still give you construction XP, but not nearly as much as doing solos. Next up, we have Mythical Capes. This method will require completion of Dragon Slayer 2 and 1 Myth Cape. Building one of these gives more XP per plank than usual while making furniture inside of the house. You can swap the left click on the cape space to build it, and once you've got it built again, you can swap the left click to remove it. Hopefully this saves you some wrist pain. Pros of this method are that it's consistently the same action every time, or maybe that's a con for some individuals. And the cons are that it's worse XP per plank when compared to regular Mahogany Homes. You'll likely be doing a lot more woodcutting with this method, as you will need more planks to level up, but myth capes are definitely a solid option, even if it's just to switch things up for a little bit. And the final alternative option I've got for you is a very unique one. Following the removal of Zaya favor in recent years, the activities that used to give favor were all reworked. One activity that stands out is repairing cranes on the docks of Port Piscilius. Each crane gives construction and crafting XP equal to your level times 4. Each crane repair takes nails, which are stackable and can be purchased from any sawmill, and the type doesn't matter. You'll also need 3 planks of any kind. The type doesn't matter either, so if you've stacked up some noted regular or oak planks, then this would be a good time to use them. If you don't have noted planks to use, then you can source them from this shop in Morton. After completion of the Shades of Morton quest, you can use a Serum 208 on Razmir. He will have 10 regular planks in stock, so you may need to hop worlds a few times to get your inventory full each run. And after you've got another full inventory of planks, you can use your Book of the Dead or Memoirs and teleport back to Port Piscilius. It should be noted that if you have an alt account, you can have them click to repair at the same time, and it should help speed up the XP since each player has an individual success roll. If one player succeeds in repairing, then the other players will also succeed, resulting in better XP rates. The pros for this method: cranes are really good XP, and they're also very efficient since you also train crafting as well. The cons for this method: it can require a lot more clicking, and it really only exceeds if you've got an alt account to help speed you up. Now, I do have one more thing that isn't necessarily a training method. However, whenever you get the level and the supplies, I would highly recommend building all of the stash units that you can. These will only be built once, but you may as well get them out of the way while the XP is actually meaningful at lower levels. In the future, you'll thank yourself when you need to fill these. And that is going to do it for the methods. If you're looking for some more UIM specific house setups, then make sure to check out my UIM player-owned house tips video on my channel. I'll make sure to link it in the description down below. Do not neglect this skill. Construction will become a very valuable skill for an ultimate and definitely should be prioritized. However you choose to do so will depend on your preferences and playstyle. So, hopefully you found a method in this video that fits that. Let me know which training method you like the most, and as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.